On its website, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, describes itself as America's largest Muslim civil liberties organization. Florida's governor on Wednesday announcing his intent to recommend CAIR be formally designated on a state list as a terrorist organization.
What bothers us the most is they always include all of us. From the day I came to this country, they always keep saying all Muslims, all of them. This land is my land, man. I came here when I'm 15 years old. This is my land. I have a motherland where I come from, but America is the big mother, man. I call it the mother of the world.
The fire and members of the mosque were back to show their support, including Ahmet Tiki Liolu. He's the executive director for the Council on American Islamic Relations, also known as CAIR. The organization is offering a $2,000 reward for information that leads to an arrest.
This week, the president posted a video showing a kindergarten graduation featuring Somali children. Trump included a caption from another account that says, "Public school in St. Paul, Minnesota. Every girl is in a hijab in kindergarten. We're blurring their faces for their protection." CAIR-MN says, quote, "The inflammatory anti-Muslim social media post puts a target on the children."
Tala Muhammad Ali of the Council on Islamic American Relations said people in the Muslim community are worried about how Islamophobia might lead to intimidation while trying to vote.
Muslims are being vilified as if it's a contradiction to being American. You know, Muslims are American. Muslims are registered to vote. No one, Muslims included, should feel intimidated or unsafe for showing up to the voting poll.
The Pittsburgh chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations released a statement reading in part, quote, "Violent extremist rhetoric targeting Muslims and members of other communities must never be dismissed as mere online speech when it includes credible threats of mass violence. Every targeted community deserves to live free from fear."
The Chicago office of the Council on American Islamic Relations responding. The Adhan is a peaceful call to prayer recited by Muslims around the world for more than 14 centuries. To portray it as a call to death and destruction is not only offensive, it is a malicious falsehood that demonizes an entire faith and the millions of Americans who practice it.
Council of American Islamic Relations called on Congress to condemn Khan's detention. In a statement, the council writing, "If an American elected representative can be stopped, intimidated, and prevented from traveling freely, imagine what Palestinians endure every day without the protection of congressional office or international attention."
Well, the Council on American Islamic Relations is condemning that stabbing. They released this statement saying this horrific attack is yet another reminder that anti-Muslim rhetoric has real-world consequences. When Muslims are routinely demonized, portrayed as threats, or treated as less deserving of equal rights and dignity, some twisted individuals inevitably act on that hatred. Our nation's political and community leaders have a moral responsibility to reject anti-Muslim hate in all its forms before more innocent people are harmed. We pray for the victims' complete and speedy recovery and call on all Americans to stand together against anti-Muslim bigotry and every form of hatred.
Florida officials are pausing plans to designate the Council on American Islamic Relations as a domestic terrorist organization. That pause comes after CAIR filed a lawsuit arguing the designation could restrict its rights and activities. Governor Ron DeSantis announced the plans earlier this month under a new state law that creates a process for designating foreign and domestic terrorist organizations. Court documents say no designations will be made until the state finalizes rules for how that process will work.
Muslim civil rights group CAIR says it's an example of a growing trend.
We have had the worst calendar year in terms of volume of cases that we've gotten at CAIR on a national level and on a state level since CAIR's founding in the early 1990s, over 30 years ago.
Meanwhile, the Delaware County Council and the Philadelphia chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations both condemned the voicemail. CAIR saying in part, quote, "Attacks like these are not only directed at one individual, they're intended to send a message of fear to entire minority groups, particularly the Black, immigrant, and American Muslim communities."
Now people feel that, yeah, I can go ahead and openly say that I think Muslims should be exterminated, or I don't like Jewish people, or whatever other hateful things that people are saying. They just feel that they can get away with saying it now. And so that is very dangerous because open hate speech like that can very easily lead to hate crimes. The people who are online saying crazy things, they're a loud vocal minority. They are not the majority. The majority was here today. Elected officials, religious leaders, law enforcement officers coming together to say hate is wrong against Muslims, Jews, Christians, whoever else, and we're going to stand against it.
Well, we're bringing in Jordan Esparza-Kelly with Chicago's Council on American Islamic Relations to react to the latest. We appreciate you being here this evening.
Thank you so much for having me.
Jordan, let's talk about this new ICE Out pledge. As I was mentioning there, what commitments does this pledge actually demand from city leaders, and how does it strengthen Chicago's existing protections for immigrant communities?
Muslim civil rights advocates are supporting the library's response.
The library staff, I thought, drew a very appropriate line. And again, I think the idea of educating the community in Altoona about things that perhaps people don't always have exposure to is just always a great idea.